excited to be talking to Scott, James, and Mark from the very awesome Mason Hill. How are you guys?
Great.
Yeah, really
Surviving.
Good. Exciting night for you. It's an absolute pleasure to have you at your launch party here for your brand new debut album, a very, very, very eagerly awaited album, I should say. If anyone doesn't know, and I'm sure they will know, it's called Against the Wall. It's out today, and I've had the pleasure and privilege of being able to give it a whole listen in advance. And what an album. So first of all, congratulations, guys. I mean, very, very well done. You must be incredibly proud of it.
Thank you so much. Hello everyone. Yes, we're so proud it's finally here after like 6 years, and tonight it's here in an acoustic form as well. We're so happy. We're just kind of relishing in the moment. It's all a bit surreal. We're just kind of locked in our houses, just seeing all this kind of good news. So it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here on album release day. Yeah, boy. Yeah.
I mean, it's brilliant. We've heard already some of the tracks you've released, incredible tracks, and I understand you've already been playing some of the songs from the album at gigs before lockdown, so people may be familiar with some of them. How does it feel? I mean, it's taken, what, 5 or 6 years? How does it feel, first of all, to have been able to put this out there finally? I know the original launch date was last May, I believe, but it's been beset by various obstacles, shall we say. I think the COVID being the least of them, and of course you wanted to tour around the release, so you thought, right, well, let's do it this March instead, and lo and behold, we still can't tour. So tell us about all the obstacles you've had. I know you've been talking about some of them in this lovely magazine, which I don't work for, but I highly recommend people give it a read, because it's a very lovely center spread all about you here. So tell us, what has happened?
James?
What hasn't happened? I mean, many things. A lot of people probably look on the outside and think, you know what, where's this album this band is meant to have made? Because, I mean, we have been a band. Well, I mean, the EP came out in 2015. So, I mean, at the very end, I will say at the very end, so practically 2016, I'll just shave off a year there. But yeah, we've had that EP for a while. We've been gigging for a while, and people have grown to know us. So a lot of people ask why we don't have an album. A lot of people do know, and a lot of people don't know, but it's not been straightforward for us. It's not something we can go fully too into. However, when we finally got through the things that we were dealing with, we did have an album. We were ready to go, and then obviously, cut a few years later, we've got COVID to deal with, which just put us back even longer. So, like, I mean, people used to ask us, when's the album coming out, and we used to say things like, "Oh, soon," because we always knew we had the material. We always knew we had, the means to make the album. So the guys used to joke and say, 2021, as a joke. As a complete joke, and here we are. Yeah, we did not expect this to happen. I mean, no one did. So there's been several delays, but like, I mean, obviously it was supposed to come out last year with the Kickstarter's support, but with
that
COVID,
Kickstarter campaign was incredible, because you raised what, £16,000. So it just goes to show
the support's there.
Yeah, you've got
as well.
fans and supporters, and for very good reason. I mean, you're an amazing band, so anyone that's seen you live or heard any of your tracks before now will know that anyway. You've actually described the debut album as a culmination of 5 years of blood, sweat and tears. So yeah. I gather that's pretty much hitting a nail on the head there. The album has also been described as the album set to reignite the rock scene in 2021, and wasn't it ranked 4th album by Planet Rock of the albums that you must listen to or most look forward to albums in 2021? I don't know who 1, 2 and 3 were, but place 4 is pretty good.
Oh, we were in an incredible company. It was all superstar names, and then randomly in the 4th, which was strange. No, it was absolutely amazing. Just a privilege, and we've seen a few of these things lately, and it's it's just been a whirlwind experience, which is the thing we needed. You know, stuck in the house for so long. It's been really aspiring to see all this, and just makes us get ready to get out on the roads when we finally can. Hopefully this year, actually.
Well, that was going to be one of my questions, of course, because, you know, new album goes with a tour. Of course, in an ideal world. We're not living in an ideal world right now, but hopefully we will be pretty soon. So are you going to wait and see how the land lies and then announce the tour, or do you already have plans set in motion for that?
Yeah, our management are dealing with this more closely than we are. They're waiting for all the kind of daily and weekly updates just to decide when's best. But to be fair, the news for the first time in a long time is looking good. For the first time in about a year, people are saying this might actually go. So that's where we are right now. So it's looking good. Nothing's for certain, but it's looking really good, I think.
We definitely have a plan in place anyway.
Yeah, very much so. You know, I've been listening to this album non-stop since I've had it, so nothing else has had a look in. I've just literally been listening to it on a loop, trying to work out, right, if I had to pick 3 favourite songs, what would they be? And I've struggled quite a bit. I want to know, what would your favourite song on the album be? And the only reason I'm struggling is because they're all bloody good. That's the only reason. Not because I can't find 3 that I like enough. So
it's a nice
I want to hear your thoughts.
Scott?
I mean, it's hard. So, like, I guess it's all about perspective, isn't it? It's for me, it's hard to choose. It's like either Out of Reach or Where I Belong, because of how old they are, and they've seen the longest journey. And now, you know, I'm nearly in our 30s, and we wrote them as teenagers. So like they're probably like, but it's like a sentimental thing, you know, rather than what do I like to rock out to more. It's more of a sentimental answer.
Okay.
Mark?
Good answer.
From obviously James and Scott are kind of songwriters, so they probably have a different aspect. With me, I kind of look at what I like playing, and definitely DNA, Find My Way, We Pray, I think kind of shows the direction we're maybe heading in most. It's maybe the most kind of progressive song we've got on the album. So I probably, We Pray is definitely up there for me. It's, you know, great guitar riffs and kind of probably the most modern song as well we've got. So that's what I'm really digging.
I mean, I think for me, even though it's hard picking 3, if I was just to pick one, I would probably pick the title track, only because when I finish listening to the album, that's the one that I've still got going round and round my head.
Not a bad thing.
Yeah, not a bad thing at all. And that's how you know you're onto a winner, I think. Will you still be playing Now You See Me at your gigs? Yeah. Because that's the one. I've seen you a few times, and that's the one everyone's waiting for. And you're playing that. Yeah, is that still a big crowd pleaser?
Still, the biggest song will always be there. That's kind of stuck with us now, whether we like it or not.
I think it is stuck with you, isn't it?
So, you know, you got to play it.
Kind of works. I mean, it's fun to play live as well, because we get to depending on the gig, because sometimes you need to tell your gig, you know, in terms of like how many minutes do we have. So we quite like ending our sets with our song Where I Belong, which is also the last track on the album. But we like ending it on that sometimes if we've not been able to do a slow song in the set. Because, you know, we're a band that likes to have the odd slow song. So if we don't do Where I Belong, we'll end it typically with Now You See Me, because it just seems like a nice sort of like the outro to it. We can just go on forever. We can just keep playing guitar solos, and Scott can keep, you know, interacting with people in the audience, and Craig gets up and smashes the kit. So I mean, unless we, you know, we'll have like either another EP or a second album, whatever we do next. Unless another song passes it, it will continue to be in the set probably for the next year at least, I would say. A year or 2. We'll see what happens.
So you've been getting a lot of airplay with some of your new tracks. I know DNA in particular.
So during this campaign, we've been getting like kind of like analytics through of stuff. And sometimes, I don't know, guys, have you ever looked through some radio emails that you get? There's lots, like, so done well in some of like the kind of big ones, like BBC Radio, which was like an honour. It's just so cool, you know. Planet Rock would be a massive help. And then like a heavy one in France, Radio Lombardo in Italy, and then there's like so other wee ones like Lithuania. Like there were loads of people were loving the song.
Literally just today, I'm sure we got an email through to say there was some radio in America that has picked it up, which is pretty cool. But yeah, Germany as well. So Germany and France have been the two top ones, I think. I think that's fair to say. They've been the two that have really kind of, wow, there's like almost more radio stations there playing their songs than the UK right now, which is cool. So it's just obviously a shame we can't instantly go, this place in France, let's book a gig there, or Germany, wherever it may be. We're kind of like stuck. We just go, lock down on our phones. Cool. And then that's it, because we can't think about gigs just yet. So, but it's awesome nonetheless. It's great to see that, spreading. We can only get excited about the facts, like what could it become when we can actually gig there. So
yeah, exactly. Well, long may it continue. I'd love to just put the TV on, put the radio on, and have Mason Hill blasting out. That's what we all need. Anyway, guys, look forward to your set this evening. Again, massive congratulations. This album will feature in, I predict, every rock journalist's top 10 albums of 2021 come the end of the year. And possibly it will grab 1 or 2 number 1 spots. I wouldn't be surprised. I wish you all the very best. Can't wait to see you on the road. And I look forward to your set this evening. Big hugs and lots of love. Bye.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks for it on.
This is rock and roll.